Right, everybody, it's the big one. Manchester United face Lyon. The biggest game of the season for Manchester United as we speak. It's a huge game for Ruben Amorim, a huge game for Manchester United, and our only chance of winning a trophy this season. Now, in this video, as you know, it's the preview. We'll be talking about the predicted team, the tactics, what to expect from the game, some interesting stats about Lyon as well, and much, much more. So don't forget to leave a like, drop your score predictions and your team in the comment section. Now let's talk about it. For Ruben Amorim, it's his biggest game of the season, 100%. It was the round before against Sociedad. It's now this, and it's going to continue to get bigger the further we get into the Europa League. Now, in terms of Lyon, we know they're a good side. They've got some good players, ex-Manchester United player in Nemanja Matic. They've got some other ex-Premier League players. They've got Lacazette, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. They've also got some other good players as well. Now, one of their wingers, I believe, who's one of their best players, will be out of this game after he just suffered an ACL injury, which again is disappointing for them. I think his name Numa. I think he plays on the right wing for them. But again, listen, Lyon have a very, very good team. Tagliafico at left back. They're not an easy team to come up against. And I think for Manchester United, I've seen a random crazy quote from Onana. It's not crazy, but he said, I think we can beat them. We're better than them. Let's see if that does come to fruition. But listen, it's an interesting game now. In terms of team news, we don't know if De Ligt's going to be back. We're hoping that he is. We're going to assume that he is when I talk about the team. But if you look at Lyon, in their last round of the Europa League, they played FCSB, or you remember Manchester United played. And I believe we beat them 2-1. I believe we did beat them 2-0. No, 2-0. But they beat them 7-1 over 2 legs. Now, if you're looking at their league on form, they played Lyon, and so they played Lille, beat them 2-1. So, listen, they are a team who's on form at the minute now. Listen, they've only lost 8 games this season, but talking about their players, their attack is very, very good. Lacazette, listen, he's a decent player. They've got Tolisso, Thiago Almada. They've got Ryan Cherki. Very, very good players who can definitely cause Manchester United a problem. Now, listen, United got past pretty comfortably in the end against Real Sociedad. And I think there's some players that I want to see starting in this game. One of them has to be Leny Yoro. The last 12 games that Yoro has played, he has not been dribbled against. And he's looking so much more commanding, so much more dominant, bringing the ball out from the back, which is something that you want to see from Leny Yoro. Another player who's key is Garnacho. Now, a player who, again, has got a lot of criticism, but I think we just need his quality. But I'll talk about that later on. But listen, it's a big game. As I said, we know what we're going to get from Lyon. It's a away leg first, which probably does put the favour in Manchester United's hand. You just want to go there and still be in the tie. When we come back, when we play them on the 17th, which will obviously be a week after we play them, you still want to be in and around that, getting through. And listen, you look at the teams left now in the Europa League. I can check for you now. So you've got Bodo Glimt, Lazio, Lyon, Man United, Rangers, Athletic Club, Tottenham and Frankfurt. So, listen, this is pretty winnable for Manchester United, and I think we can win it. If you look at the way we played in our last couple of games, yes, we haven't got the result, but I do certainly think we can win. Now, let's get into my team. Now, it would be Onana in goal, just so we can have a decent game. He's had a few decent games here and there. The clean sheet against City, only conceded that 1 goal, which on the counter-attack against Forest. But you just need him to be decent in the game. Now, if you look at the team that started the last game in terms of the back three, it was Yoro, Maguire and Mazraoui. Now, the only thing I see that change if it's De Ligt's fit and he comes out to replace Maguire. That's the only way. If not, I think that's going to remain the way that it is. I think you absolutely need Yoro in a game like this. You need Mazraoui. And as I said, it's just about if De Ligt's fit, I'll throw him in. If not, you keep Maguire in there. He did come off in the 58th minute, which could be Amorim obviously giving him only an hour or potentially preserving him from this game because he knows De Ligt isn't going to be ready. But that would be my back three anyway. Yoro, Mazraoui and Maguire or De Ligt. Now, in terms of the wing back, it's going to be Dorgu and Delo. I think Dorgu had an okay game. There was a few moments where I think he could have done better against City. But again, he's 20 years old. He's coming to a very, very poor United side. He's still trying to learn the way that they want to play. But you think you can see he's a natural left wing back, natural left foot, can put a cross in, up and down that side, energy, always supporting the runs. With Dalot as well, I think he had one of his better games. Forest and City were okay games for him. He was attacking his fullback, put good few crosses in. And I think that he did very, very well. Now, in terms of midfield, Ugarte has to be in there. Now, do you go with Casemiro? He played the full 90 against City. I think he played a large part of the game before that. You do certainly need his quality, and you might need his defensive ability. But I think with Manchester United, it's a tough European game. We're away from home. I think he will go with Ugarte and Casemiro. I think the legs come from Ugarte, but also the defensive ability come from Ugarte and Casemiro. And I think that's something that we want to go with. Personally, for me, I would go with Ugarte and Bruno, but I think that's what Amorim's going to go with. Now, on that basis, I think he's going to go Bruno and Garnacho in the 10s. And I think he'll go with Xerxes through the middle. I think Rasmus, listen, I feel sorry for Rasmus at the minute because he was picking up form and then he's had quite a few back-to-back stinkers. I think Højlund will start and will be on the bench. I think Xerxes will come in. His holder play is necessary. His runs in behind, I think, are really important as well. And we know the quality in which Xerxes has. Again, I always prefer him as one of those 10s. But I think in a game like this, back against the wall, it's going to be a tough away atmosphere. I think that's the team he will go with. So Onana in goal, Mazraoui, De Ligt or Maguire, Yoro, Dorgu, Dalot, Casemiro, Ugarte, Bruno, Garnacho and Xerxes. Now, again, there's some players who I think can have a good impact off the bench or potentially even start. You've got Højlund, he can definitely start. You've got Eriksen, who can start. You've got Mason Mount, who's returning to fitness. So there are players there who can certainly come off the bench. Mount, again, we don't know if... I mean, you could see potentially Shaw get some minutes. Kobe Mainoo as well, potentially in the squad. Who else? Not Ahmad. But yeah, that's that. Now, in terms of predictions, I think it's going to be 2-1 Manchester United. Listen, Lyon are a good side. They do play some good football under Paulo Fonseca. A very good defensive unit. Again, but listen, they can score goals. But I think United will have the upper hand in this game. And I'm hoping that we do because, listen, this Europa League is absolutely massive for Manchester United. Let me know your thoughts and prediction in the comments. That has been the preview. Now, it is still a couple of days away, but I'm very, very excited for the game. And just can't wait to see what happens. As I said, the games keep getting bigger and bigger. There's teams in there, and this Europa League is definitely a winnable competition for Manchester United. A competition in which I think we can definitely win. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think Ruben Amorim knows the importance of this game. The team knows the importance of this game, and I think that's something that Manchester United will look to utilise in a game like this. But listen, let me know your thoughts. As I said, leave a like, comment and subscribe. Who do you think will start? Do you think Mason Mount deserves to start? Do you think Eriksen deserves to start? Would you start Højlund through the middle, or would you put Xerxes? Obviously no Cheeto for this game because he's not part of the Europa League squad. So you really have to utilise the players that we got back. But again, we've got Luke Shaw on the bench. Maybe he can get some minutes. There's players there who can get some minutes. But let's see, Manchester United, 2 legs, Europa League. Have we got it? I hope we do. Peace.